door to his intimate past. Calling all Americans. America's toughest sheriff needs your help. Obama-era moles that have been planted in the Justice Department have taken retired Maricopa County, Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio to court just for enforcing the law and just made a huge push to put him in jail. And because a liberal, power-hungry Arizona judge just denied him a fair trial by a jury of his peers, Sheriff Arpaio has now been forced to file an appeal with the U.S. Supreme Court to overrule the Arizona court's terrible decision. However, if his appeal is denied, and he has to face a liberal judge rather than a jury of his peers, he could end up in a jail cell instead of being able to spend time with his wife, children and grandchildren. The Tea Party is calling on every American patriot to stand behind America's toughest sheriff and demand that the Supreme Court approve Joe Arpaio's appeal. We cannot let one activist judge decide the fate of Sheriff Joe, and we need help from law-abiding citizens like you to make this happen. Stand with Sheriff Joe and add your name. We need 75,000 signatures in the next 48 hours, and then we'll bring every single signature straight to the offices of our elected officials, letting them know that we the people stand with Sheriff Joe. Because Sheriff Arpaio did exactly what the people of his county elected him to do, that is, enforce and uphold the law in order to keep them safe and secure. What was left over of the Obama Justice Department has taken him to court and are hoping to put him in a jail cell. But his sentencing could be left in the hands on a single, liberal judge. Sheriff Arpaio's trial is scheduled for this month, so we don't have much time left. If you are able to help keep this upstanding law enforcement officer from being sent to jail by his political enemies, then the time to act is now. Please, sign the petition and let Sheriff Joe know you've got his back. Stand with Sheriff Joe and add your name. Thank you standing up for the law, and with those who uphold and enforce it. God bless America. Out of hiding, former Attorney General emerges to expose Loretta Lynch and leave Hillary terrified. It is a fact that Loretta Lynch is connected with Hillary Clinton. Michael Mukasey exposed how corrupt Loretta Lynch was. Check it out. Michael Mukasey, former U.S. Attorney General, this Friday after Comey's testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee, went on Newsmax TV. He talked about how Loretta Lynch made the Justice Department an arm of the Clinton campaign. According to our source Liberty Writers, Obama Attorney General Loretta Lynch has been tied to Hillary Clinton and was involved in Clinton's email investigation. What is especially notable is the secret meeting that Loretta Lynch had with the former President Bill Clinton, that happened during the investigation of Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton said that they didn't talk anything connected to the investigation, like we would really believe her. The truth is that Loretta Lynch had played a big role for the Clinton campaign, and this is exactly what Michael Mukasey said. What makes it egregious is the fact, and I think it's obvious that it is a fact, that the Attorney General of the United States was adjusting the way the department talked about its business so as to coincide as to the way the Clinton campaign talked about that business. In other words, it made the Department of Justice essentially an arm of the Clinton campaign. That is really a betrayal of the department and its independence. Clearly, the Attorney General was clearly in the tank for Secretary Hillary Clinton. Michael Mukasey didn't have anything good to say about Loretta Lynch. She just ruined the name of a great position, Attorney General. Both Hillary Clinton and Loretta Lynch are guilty and they will be punished for their crimes eventually. It is only a matter of time when. Scroll down and leave a comment below if you agree with former U.S. Attorney General Michael Mukasey. Breaking: Starbucks slammed with massive karma after what their coffee just tested positive for. Starbucks just got some terrible news, and so did the morons who drink their overpriced beverages. New reports have emerged that show that samples of the beverages contain a special ingredient, fecal bacteria. Yuck. No wonder their coffee tastes like crap. Amanda Shea at Freedom Daily has more. Starbucks public relations person has probably been working overtime to cover the company's backside from the second they alienated conservatives, but now their work has really cut out for them after unfortunate test results prove what they have been sneaking into their cup of joe. the company's CEO telling customers who supported traditional marriage to get their coffee somewhere else turned out to be doing right-wingers a favor who were spared consuming more of their dangerous beverages considering the nasty punch they have in them that millions of customers have been unaware they drinking. After Starbucks pledged to hire 10,000 Muslim refugees to rebuke President Trump's initial travel ban back in January, they committed enterprise suicide. That disgusting decision made people wonder what would happen to the quality of their product and customer service with illiterate third world people with foul customs running shops. That nightmare has just come to fruition, perhaps regardless of the refugees' hiring spree, with test results proving that Starbucks is literally full of crap. Samples of iced drinks from Costa Coffee, Starbucks and Caffè Nero contained varying levels of the bacteria, the BBC's watchdog found. Expert Tony Lewis said the levels found were concerning. These should not be present at any level, never mind the significant numbers found, he added. Cleanliness of tables, trays and high chairs at the chains was also tested at 30 branches. This really comes as no surprise considering that Starbucks announced that they were hiring 10,000 refugees from third world cesspools. Georgette Walrath at conservative Daily Post reports that when the Supreme Court upheld part of the ban this week, the company immediately announced its commitment to hire another 2,500 refugees for their locations in England and other European countries. The original pledge cost the company significantly in the States. Not only did social media make much of the UN-American stance, the backlash plummeted brand sentiment and sales. Trump supporters boycotted the coffee giant, and according to YouGov Brand Index, consumer participation levels fell by over 60%. The problem with hiring and accepting refugees is the cultural hygienic difficulties it creates. In Germany and France, the situation is so dire that a company has invented a multicultural toilet. Despite pictogram instructions, third world invaders don't understand how to use Western facilities. Many migrants will have never seen toilet paper before, writes one Deutsche Welle journalist. He added, refugees nationwide have squatted on toilet rims or the floor of the bathroom. Others have relieved themselves in the shower stalls, leaving behind human excrement on the floors. Last week, Starbucks renewed the pledge it made on January 29, 2017 to hire 10,000 refugees, after President Trump announced his temporary travel ban. The former Liberal CEO Howard Schultz wrote an open letter to employees that stated, "We are living in an unprecedented time, one in which we are witness to the conscience of our country, and the promise of the American dream, being called into question." So there you go. Now you literally get crap along with the liberal crap politics at Starbucks. Unbelievable. Follow us on Facebook at Nation in Distress. If you get a call from this area code, don't answer it. Here's the terrifying thing it means. We have all received calls on our cell phones from numbers we don't recognize and may have refused to answer it. However, chances are, you've received a call from one particular number that may have looked familiar, only to realize after answering it's not what you thought. Now we know what you have or will subject yourself to if you answer the ring from one of these recognizable numbers. Those who wish to cause you harm have become far more crafty in their tactics than one could ever know, making you become a victim before you realize it. Once you do, recourse is difficult, so you must remain on the defense by refusing to answer a call from one of these numbers. If you pick up, it's already too late. Unsolicited phone calls are obnoxious enough, but none are as frustrating as calls from the area code 473. Hello Giggles reports that any phone number that starts with this specific area code is likely a scam. The name 473 scam comes from the fact that criminals have been known to use caller IDs with the area code 473, which appears to be domestic, but is actually the area code for the island of Grenada and several other islands outside the United States, the report explained. What's worse is how easily they get your information without the consumer being aware of it. This isn't the only code in question, there's a short list of others which you need to watch out for, included below. The scammer has a couple goals in mind once they have you on the line, and the first is to trick you into calling them back, Faith Family America reports. Another tactic is to keep you on the line by either not saying anything or using an obnoxious sound, creating a sense in people to want to figure out what's going on or who is on the line and why they are getting a call. In this seemingly innocuous moment, they are collecting personal information from you without you being aware of it. Here's the full list of area codes with their real origins of associate to be wary of if you don't personally know anyone who would have reason to call you from these numbers: 242, Bahamas, 246, Barbados, 268, Antigua, 284, British Virgin Islands, 345, Cayman Islands, 441, Bermuda, 473, Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, 649, Turks and Caicos, 664, Montserrat, 721, Saint Martin, 758, Saint Lucia, 767, Dominica, 784, Saint Vincent and Grenadines, 809, 829 and 849, Dominican Republic, 868, Trinidad and Tobago, 869, St. Kitts and Nevis, 876, Jamaica. In this fast-paced digital world we live in today, scams and identity theft can happen easily and in ways most consumers would never think of. It's important to always stay vigilant and aware of our surroundings to avoid a devastating situation. White reporter drops bombshell about Comey and Lynch's secret relationship. James Comey's testimony before the Senate set off several bombshells. The biggest may be that Loretta Lynch, Obama's Attorney General, used her clout to disrupt and obstruct the FBI's investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server. According to his own testimony, Comey felt uneasy with Lynch's efforts to change the Clinton investigation into a simple matter. However, John Solomon, the head of Circa News, has asserted that Comey and Lynch had several secret meetings, via Gateway Pundit. Solomon has also claimed that the truth about these secret meetings will come out soon. How can they not? With the onslaught of leaks we're seeing week in and week out, it's only a matter of time before everything becomes public knowledge. Did Lynch and Comey meet to further discuss blocking the Clinton investigation? Some circumstantial evidence shows that might be the case. A leaked email from a high-ranking Democrat operative claimed that Lynch would keep the Clinton investigation from going too far, via New York Times. Lynch also met with former President Bill Clinton to have a secret discussion, one that resulted in a Democrat strategy to obstruct the FBI's case against Hillary. Not to be outdone, former FBI agents have come forward to call Comey a dirty cop. Christopher Farrell, of Judicial Watch, has publicly admitted that veteran and active special agents have told him that Comey deliberately obstructed the Clinton investigation, via Daily Caller. It appears that Comey and Lynch were made for each other. Both have connections to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. In Comey's case, he once served as the prosecutor in the case against Sandy Berger, Bill Clinton's national security advisor. Comey refused to prosecute Berger after Berger stole incriminating information from the National Archives. Many of these stolen papers reportedly show that President Clinton knew about the 9/11 plot, but refused to execute Osama bin Laden, or seriously attack al-Qaeda, via Washington Post. Comey's brother also does tax work for the Clinton Foundation, which routinely launders money and engages in pay-for-play schemes across the world, Gateway Pundit. As for Lynch, she is much closer to Obama. However, in the wake of Clinton's historic defeat, the former top cop of America called for blood in the streets in the name of political violence. YouTube. President Trump should immediately begin the process of investigating these two for their numerous violations and corrupt practices. After they've been dealt with, the investigation should widen to include Obama and Hillary Clinton. This is one swamp that desperately needs draining. If it remains in existence, then America will be nothing but a banana republic. Should James Comey and Loretta Lynch face official charges for corruption? Please share the story on Facebook and tell us what you think because we want to hear your voice.